Hello, and welcome to Caring and Communicating the Essentials, one in a series of presentations designed to supplement our regular face to face and online workshops. My name's Claire Billings-Deed. I'm sure we've all been there before, finishing a conversation thinking, oh, I wish I'd said this or that, or come away feeling frustrated, thinking that you weren't listened to or understood, or that you're no further forward. This can lead to feelings of frustration and losing confidence. This presentation will give you some food for thought about what's important for effective communication. So, what do we mean by communication? Well, here's one definition: the transmission or exchange of information, knowledge, or ideas by means of speech, writing, mechanical, or electronic media. We all communicate, talk, writing, gestures, but what makes someone a good or effective communicator? Take a minute to think of someone you consider a good communicator and try to identify what they do to create effective communication. Press pause, take a minute, and maybe write a few ideas down. So I would guess that your list looks a little bit like this. Good communicators demonstrate some of the following skills. So first of all, listening. Good communicators often listen just as much as they talk. Effective communication requires active listening, and active listening involves not just listening but showing that you're listening. So, non-verbal prompts such as nods and sounds, paraphrasing, and asking questions are all ways to show that you are paying attention. Clarity and conciseness. Getting the message across in a few words as possible, using plain language and no jargon, will avoid confusion and ensure the key information is received by the other person. Being personable. A polite, friendly, and approachable manner encourages others to engage in communication, either in writing or verbally. Being confident. Appearing confident, doing research so that we know what we're talking about, using a firm but friendly tone, making eye contact, and demonstrating relaxed but upright posture will give the impression that what we say is what we mean. Being open-minded. Approaching communication with flexibility and a willingness to consider a different solution to the one you envisaged will make communication more productive. Being respectful. Demonstrating active listening is respectful. We all have different experiences and different needs. Using empathy to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their point of view will help make your communication more effective. Lastly, considering the best way to communicate. Thinking about who it is you're trying to communicate with. How do they like to communicate? How important is this topic and how busy might that person be? Think about the best media. For example, letter, text, email, by phone or video call. And if you're in person, consider the best location with the least distractions. So there are three main styles of communication that we can use. Passive communication is when you attend to the needs and wishes of the other person, saying yes to everything and everyone, regardless of the impact on you. Usually, this is to avoid conflict and can happen when we're feeling tired or anxious. At the other extreme, aggressive communication is when you're totally focused on your needs, wishes, and wants, your own, and you're not listening to others. You're actively pushing your point of view onto other people in a loud, forceful, even bullying or threatening way. Neither of these will get us very far. Passive communication means our needs and wishes aren't even on the agenda, and aggressive communication can lead to the other person disengaging and avoiding communicating at best, or becoming angry and combative. So, the most effective and productive communication is assertive. This involves keeping in mind an understanding of the other person's point of view and needs, whilst putting across your needs and wishes as well. Knowledge and confidence in what you're wanting or asking, being ready to compromise, and an ability to regulate your emotions are all essential aspects of assertive communication. One thing that can really help effective and productive communication is communicating with ourselves in a positive way. Speaking encouragingly to ourselves, reminding ourselves of our motivation and our values can help us look and feel calm, clear, and confident in what we are saying. Sometimes the conversations we need to have are very important, and this can feel daunting or even difficult. Often it's when we need to say something we know the other person won't want to hear or will be upsetting. It's tempting to put off these conversations because it's easier, less hassle, or will avoid confrontation. But these important conversations are best not avoided because they are often about maintaining health, well-being, or even safety. These are the sorts of conversations that relate to change, and this can be uncomfortable and even distressing. Because they're important and have such a potentially significant impact, these types of conversations can cause anxiety. So it's really important to acknowledge any anxiety and find ways to manage it. Another thing which helps with important but potentially difficult or uncomfortable conversations is to remember your motivation, the reason you're having this conversation. Here are some other tips for effective and productive communication. Plan what you're going to say, but don't overplan it. Remember to stay responsive and open to alternative solutions. Make notes of what you want to say. Pick the right setting, somewhere quiet, with no distractions, confidential and comfortable for you and the other person. Be sure you use I statements. These are powerful statements of your needs and wishes, and they show that you own them, such as I would like. Remember to listen as much as talking, so that you get to understand the other person's needs, wishes and point of view. Decide the one key message you want the other person to take away from the conversation. What's the focus that needs to be addressed? And keep coming back to this. Please remember that communicating is all about connecting with others. And connecting with others is one of the 5 ways to well-being. Communicating is connecting, and a great way to connect with others and help maintain your own well-being. Communication with people, friends, and others in the same boat is good for you and for their well-being. So that's the end of this very brief summary of caring and communicating. We hope you found it useful. There is more detail in our interactive caring and communicating workshop. So if this summary has piqued your interest in developing your communication skills, please have a look at the events page of our website and book on to the next online or in-person workshop. You can also check out the other workshops we offer. All the booking details can be found on that page, and we hope to see you soon.